Once upon a time, a mother lived in a distant land with her 3 daughters in a small house with a cute garden. The mother takes her 2 daughters every day, goes out to the garden, and spins a spinning wheel. She wraps her ropes beautifully. One of the girls, on the other hand, played with ash in the stove from morning till night and wandered around in ashes. That's why they called her the Ashy Fatma. One day the mother took her 2 daughters again, went out to the garden of her house, started spinning a spinning wheel, wrapped her ropes. One of the girls, "Let's play a game?" said. "Should the person who broke the rope first get water from these 3 mo?" Once upon a time, a mother lived in a distant land with her 3 daughters in a small house with a cute garden. The mother takes her 2 daughters every day, goes out to the garden, and spins a spinning wheel. She wraps her ropes beautifully. One of the girls, on the other hand, played with ash in the stove from morning till night and wandered around in ashes. That's why they called her the Ashy Fatma. One day the mother took her 2 daughters again, went out to the garden of her house, started spinning a spinning wheel, wrapped her ropes. One of the girls, "Let's play a game?" said. "Should the person who broke the rope first get water from these 3 mountains away?" said. Everyone liked his game. They said okay to the game.
Their mothers and 2 sisters started spinning a spinning wheel, and they wound it. They realized it, and when your mother gave a break immediately, this does not count when her own rope broke off. Nothing to do when the mother took the buckets. Oh, or Ashy Fatma stopped. Mother will also be on the road. You do not know the roads. I went I went to these buckets, and I looked to the mother's right and looked to her left. After making sure that no one was listening to them, Severin leaned into into the ears of the Ashy Fatma. Wait for me one day for 15 days. If I still haven't come for 15 days, stop me anymore. Go to the wheel behind the house and look inside. Mother on the roads goes. Just go. Or Ashy Fatma spent 50 days after 357.
On the 15th day, there was the wedding of the son of the Sultan. The 2 sisters were doubted oneself. They worried. As they put on their way to the palace, our Ashy Fatma stopped in front of them.
My mother has been gone for days, and you're going to the wedding you prepared like this, she objected to them. But the 2 sisters paid no attention. They had gone to the wedding. Our Ashy Fatma, crying and whining to her past corner, suddenly remembered what her mother said while she was leaving. She was gone immediately. She went down into the well behind the house and could not believe what she saw. Inside the well are colorful dresses, shoes, purse, rubies, emerald. Fatma was confused where to look.
Then suddenly a letter caught his eye. She opened the letter from her mother and wrote that everything she found in the well was her now, that she was a very auspicious son, and that she wanted her to go to the wedding in the palace right away, and when Fatma the Ashi listened to her mother's words, she immediately went to the decorated palace dressed and dressed. Everyone who returned suddenly turned and looked at Fatma, the Ashy Fatma who was born like a light. So beautiful that the palace was so beautiful that even her sister could not recognize her. As soon as he saw this beauty of the Sultan's son, Fatma, who was not overlooked by our Sultan's son, he ordered his men find out who is this girl, said.
When she realized that all eyes turned to her, she became a little nervous and straight running, heading back home. He wanted to get home as soon as possible. While he was running, the sheep on his feet came. On his feet, afraid to go back and eat. He continued for fear of getting caught. When she got home, she started to cry out and sighed to herself, "Why did I go to the wedding ceremony? You had only one thing this left from your mom and you lost it." The Sultan's son channeled the wedding and he posed his father a little. He said, "I don't want to marry someone I don't want after that day." The son of the Sultan stuttered and didn't drink anything, didn't log out or play, just dreamed about Fatma.
Our sharing Ashy Fatma tale. You can start reading.
One day, garden of the palace. While wading in the garden, he saw something shining in the pool. He hand bent down it look at cloud not understand what is happening. He ordered it immediately. The water of the pool has been drained. When the water of the pool was drained, then the shoe came out from under it. Where Sultan's son looked at the shoe.
It must be her shoe. He ordered this shoe to be tried on the feet of all the young girls in the country. He said that if it fits, I will marry her. The man touched the shoes and tried the shoe on girls' feet all over the country. They also came to Fatma's house and tried the shoe of the two girls. It's time to try Ashy Fatma's feet.
Thank you. And thank you, Language of Tales. From Galați, Romania. Secondary School number 17.
The floor. Fatma came to her feet and after brother came to the floor. You don't have to tray on his feet. He didn't come to wedding but the God didn't listen. He said, "We have to tray the took on off his feet and turned into a shoe. This is she was elderly and angry, shoe in the feet of Ashy Fatma. Each man would be on an ancestor's feet. The Imam told Fatma Kullu that the Sultan wanted to marry. Fatma also lost her heart on the wedding day and said okay to all. Sultan's son looked on him and considered, "You will bring me 40 mules and 40 men." And on of the brother rage when he said the place that he will carry my dowry.
One of the older sisters laughed. They said, "Are you going to carry the ashes of Fatma? What will you do the palace with 40 mules?" But the guards immediately followed Fatma's request, with 40 men in front of the house lined with 40 mules. The sisters were surprised. You never wondered, as Fatma the full ashes jumped on the horse and was going to the palace. Two sisters entered Fatma's arm. They turned to the guards and said, "Let's take our brother first to a bathhouse, clear and purify."
The girls said to the guards that you will come tomorrow and get Ashy Fatma. The men said okay, turned and left. Ashy Fatma understood that her older sisters would play a trick on her, but when she couldn't do anything, they set out for the bed. On the way, two sisters made a talisman. At the moment when Fatma the Ashley bird was a bird and flew away, one of the older sisters immediately left and started to wait for the prince, who covered his face with a veil. Veil or Sultan's son prince came out and took Fatma's sisters to the place, and when they arrived at the place they had a wedding. When the Sultan's son removed the veil in the bride's room, he was surprised. "I think I got sick. I fix it or Sultan's son came." Days, days, a bird had turned into the garden. It is placed on the roses in the rose garden. Prince went out to his garden, and what you see out the roses in the garden have a drape up. On of the is not red. Who went Rick next to that rose? The bird carries his wings in hastened the wings. Köylü Fatma tries to explain what happened next. He explained they asked the two sisters to descend countries while they were serving their centenary. Fatma Küllü and the son of the Sultan had a wedding for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm also coming from that wedding. They said he to you. They do not fussy. Let's get out of the crease. The apples will fall from the one to you will listen to this tale on Sultan's on